This week we're going to clear up the mystery of subsites versus hub sites versus site collections in SharePoint. Stay tuned, this is a good one. Greetings YouTubers, Andy here, welcome back to the channel, great to see you. This time around I thought we'd take a look at SharePoint Online, but specifically around the topic of site collections, sites versus hub sites, and when would you use each of these. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate you clicking on that subscribe button, ringing the bell, and you won't miss out on the good stuff in the future. And if you enjoy the video, please give me a big thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Now, if you have questions, comments, feedback on this or any of my other sessions, I would love to hear from you. Okay. So SharePoint Online has been out for quite some time, and one question I always get asked is that, Andy, I'm a little bit confused between, do I use a hub site? Where do I use a hub site? How do I attach hubs? And also, what's the difference between hub sites and site collections and sites? So I thought I would take a little bit of time in my demo today in order to explain this. So without any further ado and any more jibber jabber, I think it's time for a demo. What do you think? Let's have a look. So here we begin in Microsoft 365 and in the Admin Center, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go into SharePoint, which I have opened here. Now, I'm currently in active sites, and as we can see, I have a number of sites here in SharePoint that are already in Microsoft Teams, for example. So as you know, when you create either a team or a Microsoft 365 group, it actually goes ahead and creates a modern team site. Now, modern team sites have a number of benefits over classic team sites, and one of those benefits is something called a hub site. Now, I can select this particular site here, and I can click on hubs, and I can go ahead and edit the hub settings for this particular site. Now, what a hub site does is it basically allows the organization to organize their content either based on location, if you've got a particular project running, and you get things like shared navigation. You can share the branding, so if you've got any kind of subsites within there, you get like shared branding and things like that. Also, you get unified search. So you can see I've created this site, I've called it Tromsø Sales, and you can also put in the name of any users that you're going to allow that. You can also see Parent Hub Association. Now this one is already a parent. So if I click on Save, so any branding, any design, any search would basically carry through to that Tromsø Sales website. You can see that this is a hub site. Now, what makes this different from a site collection? Just to be clear, site collections are something that we had in SharePoint Server, and you would create a SharePoint site collection within something called a web application, and that was like an enclosed bubble. Now, within that web application, once you've created the site collections, you could then create subsites, and you could have many subsites. So the key difference between site collections and hub sites is that hub sites are very fluid. So for example, here you can see that I've got the Oslo team hub site. So I got this Trondheim site here, and this guy is currently associated with Tromsø. So one of the things that you can do is you can select the site, and let's say, for example, this was a project and they're now going to be working in Oslo. So this is something that you could never do in a team site. You can just literally say, hey, I want to now associate you no longer with the Tromsø sales, but now with the Oslo sales team. And immediately this site is now associated with the sales team, which is now the hub site. So it's very, very fluid, whereas that site collection, it was very, very static and flat, if you will. Okay, so some of the so Andy, the question is, can I still have sub-sites? So yes, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I've got a group here called Trondheim Students. So, and you can see that this particular collection is not a team site and it's not associated with any hubs. So I'm going to click into the site here. And of course, you get all the benefits of the site itself. You can see whether the site is either a private group or whether it's a public group. Now, obviously, when you create this, it could be associated, for example, with a Microsoft 365 group, and you can choose what to set it up as. Now, I'm going to click on the wheel up here and I'm going to click on Site Contents. And when I do, you can see that I get my Subsites option here. So this, in effect, is almost like a site collection. So a kind of a traditional site collection. So in here, I can click into Subsites and you can see that I've got list, page, document library, app, and I can now create a subsite within here. So what I could do is I could call this, right, what will I call this? I'll call this my managers subsite. So again, I can call it managers, and you can see here where it's placing it. I can create a subsite within Trondheim. And this is very much like the traditional sites that we had in the past. Now, just a little thing, you can obviously choose your language. And if you're familiar with SharePoint Server, then this screen will look familiar to you. So you can see that really it's, how much collaboration, that's the key word here. How much collaboration do you want the site to have? So if you choose a team site with no Microsoft 365 group, you can have a team site which is a classic experience, or you could choose a full project site. Now, in terms of permissions, you can see use the same permissions as the parent. So in other words, you're creating almost like a subfolder within the core parent folder here. And again, you've got other options, navigation options. Do you want to be able to display it in the quick link so that you can jump there and so on. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to create a team site that's not a Microsoft group, or you can create a team classic experience. Now, the difference is it uses a modern template as opposed to the old classic SharePoint template. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll click on create, and in a moment you'll see that this site actually gets created. All right, so here is my template. So you can now see that I'm in the manager's site. And again, I can go ahead and I can apply a template. I can upload files to the site. I can change the look and the feel of the site if I want to. But the key thing to note here is this is a subsite, of course. All right. Now in here, as I scroll down, you can see that I've got just scroll down here, I've got my Trondheim students here. And if I scroll up, you'll notice that, in fact, I don't have anywhere that says managers. And the reason for that is because managers is a subsite of Trondheim. So what can I do about this? Well, I can go into this particular website. Now, this is a modern team site. As I said, private group. But the key thing now is that you see we now have this subsites option here. So now we have the manager's site. And of course, you can have different sets of permissions with that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this site down, and I'm just going to compare this. I'm going to come up to a team site here. So let's say the Sterling team here, and I'm going to edit this team site. Now, this is a Microsoft team. You can see it's a public group. And again, I'm going to click on the wheel and I'm going to come into site contents here. Again, when I click onto subsites, I'm going to click on new, but this time you'll notice that I don't have the option to create that Subsite. And this is because this is a modern template and it's also a Microsoft team. Now, as a Microsoft team, if I click here, okay, you might ask me, okay, so how do I create subsites then? Well, of course, this is all now part of Microsoft Teams. So in Microsoft Teams, I would simply come in here now and I would say, okay, what was the name of that site? Here it is. Here's the Trondheim site. What I would now do is you would now add a channel. And when you add a channel in Teams, that's the same as creating a subsite in SharePoint. All right. Now, finally, just going back, just to review that, all of that again. So like I said, subsites, site collections were very much a language of classic SharePoint. And it was a very kind of flat structure. But what we have now is we now have hub sites, which are very flexible. You can change them, move them around, and they're really fluid based on the project that you're working on, the locations, different departments. But the thing is, you can detach and reattach, and they share all of the same navigation, branding, structure, and also search capabilities. Now, within regular templates, you can create subsites within regular sites. And in essence, that is the same model that we had in traditional SharePoint. So there you have it. Now you know all about sites and subsites and hub sites. I hope that cleared things up for you. Now, if you've not subscribed, go ahead, click on the subscribe button, ring the bell, and you won't miss out on the good stuff in the future. And if you've got any questions from this or any of my other sessions, go ahead and pop them down below. So thank you very much for dropping by, and until next time, you stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Hey, thanks so much for dropping by today. Here's a couple of videos that you may enjoy, and while you're here, go ahead, click on the subscribe button and you won't miss out.